What's up, everybody? Welcome into the very first edition of Bulldog Weekly Live, brought to you right here in studio at RBTV. I'm Colin Semino, and I'm Aiden Chef. We're here to keep you up to date with everything happening around RBHS as we head into the final stretch of the school year. Today on the show, we've got school announcements, a look back at prom, an interview with Mr. Holdren, some spring sports coverage, and even the voices here at RB. We've got a packed show, so let's get right into it. We begin with the announcements from around Riverside Brookfield High School. Seniors, Friday, May 1st is an important day. During lunch periods, cap and gown pickup will take place in the atrium. Students will receive their cap, gown, stole, and graduation tickets. Distribution will be organized by last name, and stoles are required for all graduates. If you still need to order your cap and gown, be sure to do that as soon as possible. Also due Friday, May 1st is the optional graduation ticket request form. Only complete that form if you do not plan to use all of your assigned tickets. Registration for 2026 RBHS Athletic Summer Camps is now open. Families can register online, and camp grade levels are based on entering grade level for fall of 2026. Please note that there will be no camps on June 19th and no camps from June 29th through July 4th. Looking ahead, the College Athlete Commitment Recognition Ceremony takes place Thursday, May 7th at 7 o'clock in the morning in the main gym. On Wednesday, May 13th, the local scholarship breakfast will be held at 8:30 in the auditorium for invited students receiving awards. Thursday, May 14th is a busy day for seniors. Fine arts recognition begins at 7 in the morning in room 201. Yearbook pickup will be held after school from 3:05 to 3:30 in the field house. And later that evening, senior awards night begins at 6 in the main gym. Senior Sunrise takes place Monday, May 18th from 6 to 7:50 in the morning at the Kennelly Athletic Complex or inside the field house if weather becomes an issue. Then on Friday, May 22nd, graduation rehearsal begins at 11 in the cafeteria, followed by the senior picnic. And that evening, the class of 2026 commencement ceremony begins at 6:30 p.m. Congratulations in advance to all of our seniors. One of the biggest highlights of senior year already happened this past weekend. Students dressed up, hit the dance floor, and made memories at prom. What a fun night it was. Let's take a look back at a great night for the class of 2026.
A great
Joining me today in studio is none other than the man who runs this studio, Mr. Holdren. Thanks so much for taking the time to join with me today here in studio.
Glad to be here.
Certainly helps. Yeah, certainly helps when you don't have to walk too far there from your office, just down the hallway, right?
Really close. Yeah, it's sweet. We're blessed with a nice studio, a nice classroom setup here.
Absolutely. So let's start. I want to ask you this first question here by winding back the clock a little bit. Normally when you ask teachers, why this job, they'll either tell you that they've known since they were a kid, like it's something that they've wanted to do since the third grade, let's say, or maybe with a little less enthusiasm, it was more of a fallback option. For you, with a unique elective like this, an RBTV TV productions class, when did it click for you early on in your career that, okay, this is my forte?
Well, I always wanted to be a teacher. Obviously, no, I had no intentions of being a teacher. Didn't love high school, to be honest with you. I mean, enjoyed it, but I didn't really love the academics of it. More into sports. But I went to college to major in documentary film, and I did that, and I stuck around. I got my master's in the same thing. And so in between jobs, I was taking some classes at Prairie State Junior College as an instructor. Kind of was like, I kind of dig this. You know, it's kind of nice. And then I also started subbing at Homer Flossmoor High School. And I noticed that they had a nice program there, where the teacher could teach media and still like also be creative on the side. So I saw that, and I kind of fell in love too, right? So I wanted to have a family, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to LA. What am I going to do? And it's like, maybe I could teach. So I got into it, and I fell in love with it, right away. I love working with students. It's one of my favorite things to do in the world.
Yeah, glad everything fell in line. So leading off of that, I'm sure as a new teacher, once you started that, you could have as much self-confidence as you want going into it, but reshaping a program like this can take time. I know Riverside Brookfield wasn't exactly your first stop as a teacher, but when do the results start to show in your students? When do you start to see that? Is that something that's immediate, or does that actually take time?
Yeah, to me, I went to school for like leadership, educational leadership, and I've learned about different ways to change cultures, and I'm a 5-year plan kind of guy, where there's a system you put in place, and it takes about 5 years to really implement lasting change. We're on year 3, from the plan, and so far so good. After the MMEAs on Friday, we cleaned house. We had 10 nominations for NATAS Awards, which is an all-time record here at at RB.
There you go.
And I think having Liam being himself winning 6 nominations is incredible, and obviously you guys winning Best Talk Show of the Year. So the proof is in the pudding, they say, and the pudding tastes sweet because we did some good work at the MMEAs, and so we're not there yet. I think doing more shows like this live weekly is the next step, which is why we're doing this, and I think so far so good.
Awesome. Well, it feels like ever since you took over this class just a few years ago, this is your 3rd year, the excitement surrounding what this course had to offer rose rather quickly. Since then, you've had a number of students, like we just mentioned, walk through these hallways that you've helped carve into award winners and really set them up for life past high school, what they want to do with themselves and their careers, paving the way, for further success in the TV production field, whether on air or off of it, right? So which of those students, current or past, can you point to and say, that's what I look for in an RBTV student?
So here at RBTV, Michaela Hangshed, Jenny Thomas, the Liams from last year, they're people who they work hard. It's not always about being the most creative. I say it in class a lot, like if you want to be great, you just have to do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
And that'll make you great. There's nothing special about being great. You just have to do what you're supposed to do. And those students did it. Previous high school, Nate Locker, and he's actually coming in here this week to talk to the students. He's got an internship at NFL Films this summer, which is an incredible opportunity.
Absolutely.
So those are the people I look to, and I hope people get things out of it like that. But I've also had great students who did it for 4 years, and they went on to be lawyers and doctors and things like that. And that's something I always tell the students, like, if this isn't what you want to do for the rest of your life, that's okay. And in fact, it might be even more of the reason to do the class if you like it, because this is going to be the last opportunity you have. And, we're blessed enough to have a program like this at the school. So we have a lot of talented students here. I think that the live TV side of it takes a lot of group work, which can be difficult at times. Yeah. And the film aspect of it takes a lot of maturity, which is hard in high school because people want to make a film and it's dedication. Right. It's hard to do. So you always run the hurdles like that. But for me, I want students who are committed when they're in the class. I don't ask for a lot outside of the school day. But when you're in the class, I need you to lock in and get some stuff done. Yeah, and you talk about commitment, dedication. Those students are the students that bring you the hardware that we just received this past Friday, right, after all. And, obviously that's great. That's what you look for in this class. You want results. But, more personally, what brings you the most joy from this class? Is it the hardware, or is it, something a little bit more personal? No, the hardware is subjective. I want to win awards for the students for them to show that their hard work pays off. Yeah. But it's art form, it's subjective. And, that happened this last Friday where we had some pieces do well. We were like, wow. And other ones we thought were going to do better that didn't. So it's very subjective. True. I get the most joy out of students coming into the program, making friends, leaving here, and having a group of friends that they'll stay in touch with for the rest of their life. That's really what it's about for me. That's awesome. And Mr. Holdren, for this last question, the floor is yours. Let's assume there's a student watching right here and they're conflicted. They say, I want to join RBTV, but I don't know if I can just give him that commitment that he's looking for, that he's preaching about. What do you have to say to that student? Well, student at home, I would say model yourself after this man I'm sitting next to right here. It's the end of the year. My seniors are leaving me. And if there's anything you can see that would make you successful, on our TV screen today, it's the two people that were calling the show here, and then the guys behind in the control room. I'm going to miss my seniors tremendously. You are all super talented. I'm super happy that you won the live talk show as well. You deserved it. You're one of the most talented students I've ever had on camera and off camera. Same thing with the boys in the back that are working the boards right now. Colin Semino is a killer too. He's a full-time athlete, hard worker.
Yes, he is.
And he really puts in as much work as anybody does when it comes to the sports here. So I'm going to miss you guys, and I really hope you keep in touch, and I hope you guys pursue this in some way, whether it's for fun or for a career.
Yeah, well, it's a nice thing that, high school is a constant cycle. You'll always get new students, and hopefully they bring you, continuously more hardware and, more memories along the way for you as well, Mr. Holdren. So I will miss you just as much, if not more.
Beautiful.
Just know that. Thanks so much for joining us, hopping on here today in studio, Mr. Holdren.
Thank you.
We'll take it back for the rest of Bulldog Weekly Live.
Thank you, Mr. Holdren, for that great interview. Thank you, Aiden, for being a great interviewee. And obviously, RBTV continues to be one of the most creative spaces within the building. Moving on here, our spring sports season is in swing, and to find there are plenty of opportunities to support our student athletes. If you can, come out to a game this week. Our Bulldogs truly appreciate the support from the RB community. It's been an exciting stretch for RB spring sports, with several teams picking up major wins and building momentum at the right time of the year. Boys volleyball went 2-4 last week after the week prior defeating the number 13 team in the state, Glenbard East. The boys dropped an in-conference game against Fenton and then heading to the tough Lincoln Way East invite to face the Marist Redhawks, a widely respected volleyball team within Illinois. They defeated Manuka and Morton, two tough teams as well. Baseball had a strong 2-1 week as well after the week prior going 2-0 and defeating a top 25 team in the state, LT, after strong pitching performances. Last week they went 3-1, defeating Fenton twice and Maine South once in a great out-of-conference win. Girls lacrosse facing two tough opponents last week. Offensively, Tally Schultz leads the way with 3 goals, while Harper Jeswin posted an impressive 61% save rate and goal. Badminton competed in the Argo Quad, earning multiple individual victories. Standout performances came from Demetra Foster, Aubrey Kismarchik, and Rhea McDonald, among others. Boys lacrosse earned a close 9-8 victory over Hoffman Estates after a tough loss to LT. Xavier Morozic de Jesus led the team with 6 goals in the win. Way to bounce back, boys. Softball continues to roll with a pair of dominant wins, maintaining a 17-2 record, with varsity going 2-1 in their games last week. The girls take on Glenbard East in a conference matchup today. Girls soccer remains undefeated in conference play after going 3-0 last week, taking down some tough opponents and getting their senior night win. Keep it going, girls. Girls track had standout performances, including a win in the 3200 from freshman Natalie Moran. Senior Rebecca Dosek also hit a career best time in the 800. Track and field continues to impress as both boys and girls squads delivered strong showings in recent invitationals. Boys tennis is off to a strong start, winning their first 2 conference matches. The team also performed well at the Willowbrook invite. Boys water polo faced a tough matchup against Battea Valley. Ryan Meschke led the scoring effort with 3 goals. Looking ahead to next week, we have a couple new matchups to say. Let's take a closer look at some of them.
Person I think is most likely to forget their cleats is me, to be honest.
Most likely to forget their spikes and cleats, probably Owen.
I say AJ because I don't think he has locked in as we are the Bulldogs. So.
Who do I think the coach's pet is? I think it's Nick O'Connor.
Who's got the worst locker room playlist? I say Xavier.
Who's most likely to miss an easy shot and act like it was on purpose? Peter Wabi.
Probably Emerson.
Alonzo Villegas.
Who on the team would win Dancing with the Stars? Oh, Xavier, for sure.
My name is Nathan Graves, and I think Xavier would win. I'm Isaiah Griffin, and I think Bubba would win.
My name is Simon Broholic, and I think Xavier would win.
Probably Xavier, honestly.
Xavier, Layden, Morozic de Jesus.
Who's most likely to fake an injury for attention? I would go. I'm gonna go Warren Cooper Mason.
Who's the most likely to trash talk and end up losing? Probably me. Yeah. I'll be trash talking when it's 0-0, and even if it's 100-0, I'll still be trash talking. So yeah, say Coach Griffin on that one.
RB Sports continues to be predominant in many of their matchups. We're going to kick it back over to Aiden at the desk.
Now it's time for a new segment where members of our school community share something that matters to them. This is Voices of RB.
Thanks, Aiden. RBHS is a place of learning, but I would argue one of the most important things that leads to success, besides all the studying and hard work in the classroom, is the food you put in your body to fuel yourself throughout the day. The RB cafeteria has recently changed their fries from the iconic shoestring skinny fries, as they were crispy, salty, versatile, and most importantly, delicious, to a crinkle cut fry. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a crinkle cut fry, but the ones at RB are not crispy, not flavorful, and honestly, overall, just not good. So I ask you, RB, do you want to stay, or do you want to go to the shoestring fries, or stay with the soggy crinkle cut fries?
Strong words there.
Very strong words indeed. Some people want change, right? Some people want answers. Some people, they just want better fries.
And honestly, fair enough.
That's been the first edition of Bulldog Weekly Live, brought to you by RBTV.
Thank you for joining us as we launched a brand new show here at Riverside Brookfield.
For everyone behind the cameras, in the control room, and working behind the scenes, thank you very much.
I'm Colin Semino.
And I'm Aiden Chef.
Until next time, pause up,
baby.